This is Robert Morris College Intramural Softball Championship highlights. Hello, everybody. I'm John Denny along with Jim Keener, and we'll be bringing this afternoon's action between the Brothers of Tau Kappa Epsilon and the Alpha Chi Rho fraternity. Jim, you've been following both of these two teams all year long. How did they make their way to the championship?
Well, John, both teams have followed similar paths to playoffs. They both faced good freshman squads in the opening round and turned around and beat the division-leading undefeated teams in the second round. So today they face each other with equally adept defensive squads. The Teaks have a stronger offensive team. I think that's why they're going to win today. That and in addition to their experience.
Jim, one final question, and correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't both of these two teams predicted to lose in the playoffs?
Yes, they were, John. I'm the one that predicted it, and I stand corrected.
Thank you. And we'll be back with more highlights right after this.
This is now Larry Allen, the second baseman for the Alpha Chi Rho team. Larry, what is your game plan for today against the Teaks?
Well, basically what we're going to try to do is play the solid defense that we've been playing the past couple of games. We're going to try to hit the ball more with runners on base, make things happen. Been leaving too many men on base, and it's been defense that's been picking us up. So basically what we're going to try to do is get those guys home that we've been leaving on base.
Ray, you had an outstanding regular season with a batting average of .786, and now you're doing equally as well in the playoffs. You have 4 hits at 6 appearances at the plate. And the question which I want to ask you is, throughout the entire season, which pitcher has been the most difficult?
Okay, the pitcher I've had the most difficulty with is my own pitcher, Mike Sevens, in batting practice, because he puts a higher arc on the ball than most pitchers do in the league.
Well, Mike Seven was definitely instrumental in yesterday's playoff game. He, in the bottom of the 4th, where he came alive to keep not only pitching but batting.
Yeah.
Also, Ray, finally, the Teaks having a very powerful offensive game, and yet the Crows have a strong and solid defensive game. In your opinion, which is going to be a more important factor?
I'd say the important factor would be the offensive game, because softball has always been a hitter's game, and whoever hits wins the game.
Bob Irwin, the intramural director at Robert Morris College. Today we're about to complete the season. Do you have any thoughts on the season just passed?
I'm on this one we're just finishing today.
Yes.
I'm real glad it's over. That's for sure. Now we get on to basketball because, you know, we're very busy in the intramural department. It's an overlap. We're playing all the sports, it seems like at one time. It's been a good season, 90% successful, but there's always that 10% you got to work on, and hope we can make changes next year and make it be just a little better. But it's been a good one.
Do you have any predictions for today's game?
I never predict. I always say the team that makes the least amount of errors. That's a very easy way to get out of it, but that's exactly what's going to happen today.
Thanks, E.
Jim Lucchini, president of his fraternity and a catalyst for the Alpha Chi Rho softball team all season long, is standing with us here today. Jim, the word was that yesterday's game between the Teaks and the Animals was the real championship game. Is this going to have any effect on the Crows, and if so, what type?
Basically, the effect it's going to have, we're just pumped up a little bit more. We've never really been in a final game as is in an intramural season. So it's kind of new to us. We're kind of pumped up. We're excited about yesterday being the championship game. In our opinion, that's the majority, loud majority, that said that. There's a lot of people back there saying, Crows, we lost the first game 6-0, but the first game we didn't have too many practices at all. Really, we didn't have any, and we just think we can do it today.
Sixers, a hit by Ferguson, and it drops. Ray Mormon can't get it. Just dropped. That's keeping it alive here in the bottom of the 6th, 12-13. Ferguson getting a single, putting Lucchini on second.
That's 2 balls now to Graham. 1 out.
Jim, we can notice the crowd just starting to come to life now, all on their feet. Teaks are trying to end the inning while the Crows trying to keep it alive.
The crowd certainly is behind the Crows. Everyone on their feet.
And there's a 4th.
Ball 4, loads of bases.
Mike Seven, I believe, has walked his first batter of the game. And at a costly time, he loads the bases with only one out. 12-3, Luch on third, Ferguson at second, and Graham at first.
John Giacomo's up for the Crows.
John Giacomo's, he's got his Italian clan backing him here at Bav Irwin Field. There's a hit. It's going to go to the second base. 4-6, and they only get one out on the play.
That eliminates Graham. We have Ferguson at third.
And it brought in Luch, though. It brought Luch in. I believe that makes it a 12-4 game with 2 outs. They still got a long way to go, and it's pitched to him. It's going to be a ball by Mike 7. 1-0. Ferguson on third, hoping to come in.
Short. One more out, John, and the Teaks become the first fraternity since beginning of the start of this program to win back-to-back championships.
This is going to be it. That's the game. That completes a 1982 championship as the Teaks walk away champions with a score at 12-4 over the Crows. It was a good game. The Teaks being the only fraternity to win back-and-back, as you mentioned earlier, Pittsburgh.
It's the beginning of the institution of the program at Robert Morris College. The Dells did it in the first 2 years of the program, and since then, no one has come close to the record. The Teaks definitely deserve this game.
There's the champagne. Champagne all over the field. While Babich opened up at 7 downs it. So that completes this afternoon's game between the Teaks and the Crows. Teaks 1982 champions by a score of 12-4. Stick with us with post-game interviews. We're speaking with Jeff Perko, pitcher for the Crows, who also started that late inning drive in the 6th, but to no avail. Jeff, it was tough out there. What happened?
Oh, just had a little bit of trouble on the fielding part, and they were hitting the ball real well, and there's nothing you can do when you hit that ball that good.
They sure did bring out the lumber. Who do you think was the toughest hitter out there? Who did you fear the most when he was at the plate?
That real tall kid. I don't know his name.
Ray Mormon.
Yeah, Ray Mormon. He was tough. He was tough. So was left fielder. He was real tough, too. We weren't real short of names.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. I'm standing with Mike 7, winning pitcher for the Brothers of Tau Kappa Epsilon, only giving up 4 runs in this afternoon's championship game. Mike, what are some of your thoughts on this game?
Well, let me tell you, John, I'm really ecstatic about today's game. I never thought we could do it 2 years in a row. But we came through. We proved we had the guts to do it. I wasn't afraid to let other teams hit the ball because we had a steady defense behind me. And I'm just really happy after my 4 years here at Robert Morris to do it twice in a row on the way out.
Mike, as a 4-year participant in the Robert Morris College Intramural program, what has it meant to you?
Well, John, with people like Jim Keener and Mr. Robert Irwin, there's no way this program can fail. It's a good way to bring people out from the dorms, bring them here to the games in the gym, out here to the field, get people together, and have a good time. I think it's really a healthy program.
Mike, one final question. The Crows really came on strong in the bottom of the 6th. Did it worry you at all?
Yes, I was. As you saw in that inning, I threw 4 or 5 straight balls without getting a strike over the plate. And I think maybe I was just thinking too much about the end of the game. But the Crows put up a nice effort, and we just scored the early runs.
Thank you, Mike 7, winning pitcher for the Brothers of Tau Kappa Epsilon.
Thank you, John.
And so this concludes the 1982 intramural softball season, with the Brothers of Tau Kappa Epsilon becoming the champions with 12 runs on 4 hits and 4 errors, while the Alpha Chi Rho fraternity could only muster 4 runs on 5 hits and 6 errors. Jim, looking back on the season, how do you evaluate it?
John, it was the season's of first for the intramural department. We brought out our first newsletter. In addition, we had our first all-star team and our first all-star game. This broadcast in itself is a first in the department. John, I best surmise it by saying it's a season of progress.
It certainly has, Jim, and once again, we'd like to congratulate both teams for a fine play here in the championship game. This has been John Denny along with Jim Keener, bringing you softball championship highlights here on RMC Sports.